Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about two more measures of central tendency, which are mode and range. You guys did an awesome job with the mean and median homework. It looks like you guys really have developed an understanding of how to use the calculator, which is great because if you understand how to use the calculator, this unit will be very easy for you. I was happy to give out a lot of 4s on the last assignment, so that was great. Now, mode and range are very easy. And in fact, you don't even need the calculator for these. But I do want to go over quickly before we start mode and range, how to use the calculator again for mean and median. So say we're given this data here. To put the data into your calculator, you would hit New Document, Add List and Spreadsheet. Remember, we're going to put an X up here. And now you're just going to type in your data. So 81, 75, 70, 81, 65, 67, 73, 80, and 81. Now, once they're all in, remember you have to be on the numbers. You hit Menu, Statistics, enter 3 times. Remember, make this an X. Hit right, and it'll bring you up the X, and enter. Now, your mean is the X with the line over it. And your median, you do have to scroll down to find your median. It says median X, so the median of X, which is what we labeled our data, and it's 75. But the first example here isn't asking for it. Now, I know the example looks very similar to the one that you guys just did on the last notes. I used the same examples. I actually added a couple numbers, but I used the same examples. And we're going to do mode and range with them. So mode, you can remember, this is the number that occurs the most. So mode and most sound very similar. They also both start with MO. So you would look at your list of data and see which one occurs the most. And I'll show you that in a second. And your range, if I want to know the range of something, I want to know my biggest value or my highest value minus my smallest value. So you take your biggest number, and subtract your smallest number. All right, so let's look at one here about students. So a survey was taken by students to determine the amount of time they spent on their phones each day. Now again, it's the same example that was on the first one. I just added some numbers here. Find the mode and the range for the data set. All right, so my mode is the number that occurs the most. So I look at my data and I say, okay, what number here do I see the most of? I have an 81, 75, 70. Ooh, another 81, 65, 67, 73, 80. Oh, another 81. I have 3 81s in this list. I don't even see any of the other numbers repeating. So the mode here, the one that occurs the most, is 81. Now your range is your biggest number minus your smallest number. And if you have tough time figuring that out, you could put your data into your spreadsheet and look at the max value, the biggest, and the min value, the smallest. But if you want, you could just look in your list and say, okay, my biggest one here is 81. My smallest number here is 65. Just going to double check that in my chart, 81 and 65. And you subtract them. So 81 minus 65. And I wanted to show you guys that because if you hit this running calculator here, that's a scratch pad. It's like a quick little calculator you can use without losing your data. So I have 16 for my range. And to get out of that calculator, you just hit the running calculator again. Oops. Sorry, escape. Sorry, you hit escape and your data is still there. So you don't have to get out of your data. So that's like a quick little scratch pad. All right. So if you are confused and have a tough time figuring out your biggest and your smallest, like I said, put it in your calculator and look at your max and your min, your biggest and your smallest, and subtract them. And that's it for mode and range. So let's do one more example together. Again, you'll notice that's the same example I did on the first notes, but Mr. Ryan's calculus course. So 8 students took a test. Their grades were as followed. Find the mode and the range this time. So mode, you look in your list and you say which one here occurs the most. So I have an 87, 45, 85, 95, 89, 92, 93, 78. None of them here seem to occur more than once. Now, because there's no value that occurs more than the others, in this case, we say there is no mode because they all occur once. So there's no mode. There's no number in this list that occurs more than the others. There is a chance that there can be two modes. So say there were two 87s and two 45s. The mode would be 87 and 45 because 87 happened twice and 45 happened twice. But in this case, there's no mode. So let's erase that so we don't confuse anybody. And our range, let's see, my biggest number looks to be 95. Our smallest number looks to be 45. Right, I'm just double checking my list here. Sometimes I miss a number. Nope, I think we're good. So 95 minus 45 is 50, so our range is 50. All right, so very similar to last time, you guys are now going to jump over to the Google form, and you're going to do a couple examples finding the mode and the range for the data set. Good luck, try your best, and email me if you have any questions.